Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Jesus TV, my return subscribers. You all are amazing. God bless you all for coming back, for returning back. My new viewers, you're welcome. Make yourselves comfortable. Okay, so you all heard already know that like a lot of people that doesn't like, let me say, not that they don't like Olori Ashley, they don't like her personality. That's what I feel like. You don't dislike someone, you just don't like the person's personality. They've been coming for Olori Ashley lately about how she's always everywhere, you know, her son, she's trying to gather people to support her like everywhere. And the other time she put where she was praising her son, which is something normal that she has always been doing for the king. So this is something that she's used to praise. She was just praising her son, singing for her song in Yoruba language, and people were like, oh, from what she has said, she has already crowned her son the prince. So, and you all know that Olori Ashley is from a ruling house in Ife. I mean, she's already royalty, then now married to the king, which automatically grants her son, you know, to contest for the position of Ooni of Ife. You all know that the throne is not hereditary, that you have to be qualified. They have to pass through series of tests, and of course finally the Ifa priests have to convey the message of the gods of whom they have chosen to lead them as the king. That is how it goes. So it's not like you know uh when the king is no more or has retired, that the prince will say, oh, I am the first son, or I am more qualified and enter. No, it's not a family thing. So if the kingship doesn't come to the Onis family, it can actually come from the uh Olori Ashley's family, or Oloronke's family. So they said, according to what they are saying, that Ashley has been trying to be nice to all the queens from Olori Elizabeth. In fact, they said she's trying to snatch Olori Elizabeth from Olori Marian. You know that all the queens now, they have people they relate with, people they gist with, people they are more comfortable around, which is normal. And apart from Olori, Oloronke and Olori Ashley, they are both very good. They are like sisters, so they are both in good terms. Like if Olori Ashley is not around, Oloronke sits in for her. And of course, you can see from most of the during the opening of Ojaja Mall, they were both coming from the Queen's estate, the Queen's how do they put it, there's this signpost that they put there. That's where the both of them were coming. They were just still laughing, that like friends. So they said, meanwhile, Olori Marian and Olori Elizabeth, they are very close. Both of them are very close. Like, okay. And for Olori Toby, she doesn't want to be friends with anybody. She's always on her own, you know, keeping her in straight face. She doesn't want to be in the midst of anybody. And same goes to Olori Temitope. I mean, she have her own things going for her. She's royalty on her own, Ijebu princess. So she had things going for her. She doesn't even have time for the palace. Things of the palace. You hardly see her. She already have her things going for her, since she just. A lot of people used to say that Olori Temitope just married for the sake of, oh, let me marry the man that I love. She doesn't have much interest in anything that is going on in the palace, except if it is something very important that, oh, everybody, all the queens must assemble. Like, she's not one of the queens that will always fight for, like, I want to go for this function with the king and all that. Even if the king doesn't go with her, she already have her own functions that, okay, they've invited her to come for. So she barely has time for anything. So though these two are the ones that these two queens are the queens that, okay, they are on their own. They don't want to be associated with anybody or any gist. So they said this thing that Olori Ashley is affecting Olori Toby, because during that period that Oloritobi gave birth to the twins, a prince and a princess, she was very happy. She was always flaunting her son. In fact, a lot of people now came out to say, why would Oloritobi, every time she's always carrying the prince, she doesn't carry the princess. The mom is always the one that is with the princess. She's always carrying the prince everywhere she goes to. She will leave the princess. Of course, she's a mother, she can't carry the two babies, but maybe unconsciously she does that. But you know how people, Nigerians, will always read meanings to things. Besides, I mean, she's a celebrity, so her lifestyle, her life is out there. People will always conclude, assume for her. So they said she's always carrying the prince. She's always trying to show, oh, I have a son. She was the first person to give birth to a prince. And you know how that means, what it means to the king. Prince Tade has been the only son of the king, and of course, a lot of people felt like, oh, it's because Queen Naomi gave birth to a prince for the king, so she can do anything she wants to do and get away with it. Now, oh, Prince Queen Olori Toby has given birth to a prince. Now let's see what's up. The thing was getting to Olori Toby like, oh, I have a son, and she was always flaunting her son, her prince alone, without the princess as of then. So when Olori Ashley now gave birth to her son, oh my goodness, it now became like Olori Ashley, she has always been everywhere. Like, it is her nature. It's few people that understand that, oh, this is her nature. Not like she's trying to take over anything. She's always a happy person. She's always everywhere. And these things, this royalty comes with your courage, and if you know it very well. And it seems like Olori actually knows the details of how she should do, how she should carry it. So whenever she's there, she's doing her thing, they feel like, oh, because she has given birth to a son too, nobody will hear for her. And she's always carrying her son everywhere. Like, she too, she carry her son to every function, everywhere. Like, oh, she wants this boy to grow quick, to start learning fast. She's to start learning the ways of their tradition and all that. So it's not sitting well with some people. So this made Oloritobi to shrink a little. And you all know what I said. The throne, according to the tradition and culture, the throne is not hereditary. So okay, it will only put you in a position to context for it when the time comes. You understand? So as it is said, Olori Ashley's son have like 95% chance of making it to the throne, because both father and mother are from the ruling houses in Ife, so he's more qualified. So they felt like, oh, that's why she's always flaunting, and she's trying to buy all the queens, like she's trying to be everywhere and all that. But they all know that, Olori Ronke is the woman that have a very good friend and like a sister to her, so both of them are very close. So, but I don't see anything wrong with what she's doing. If I'm in this position and I give birth to a prince for my heartthrob, my king, I'll be as excited as both mothers are. So it's just a simple thing, but people always read meanings into that. But I don't see anything wrong with what Olori Ashley is doing, how she's always going to. Recently, she went to this church, this select church. I've forgotten this prophetess name. They invited them for a function, and the king sent her. She went with the prince. The way she was flaunting the prince and all that. I know people will be really meaning to that too. Like, she's always flaunting the prince and all that. Who wouldn't flaunt the prince? Who wouldn't be happy that she gave? They said that's the lifestyle she's been craving for. And there's nothing they didn't say. That's why she was eyeing Queen Naomi when Queen Naomi was there. She was craving for that lifestyle. She was hoping that Queen Naomi leaves. And they started bringing up the gist again that was why she pushed Queen Naomi to leave the palace so that she can take over. And this is the lifestyle she wanted. Everything that Queen Naomi had, she's been praying for. And you know how God is, and she has gotten everything too. She's now married to the king. She has given birth to a son for the king. That was the life Queen Naomi had. There's nothing Olori Ashley would do that they would never compare her to, Queen Naomi, and link it to wanting the lifestyle that Queen Naomi had. So that is it. Anyways, she's a celebrity. She already knows what she was getting into. So it's not like she didn't know, and she has already prepared her mind to, harbor it all. So that is what they've been saying. That's the gist that's been going on. Anyways, she knows it all, and I just tell people to move on, allow them to be happy. Don't judge people, let God be the judge of everything. Queen Naomi is happy too. She already said, I'll still say it because she already said it. I don't like to be in a crowded environment. She wants her peace of mind, and she has her peace of mind. Not like the king is not taking care of her and his son. They are living well, they are living good. So there's no need to bear grudges in the heart and make another person uncomfortable and all that. I mean, whatever happened has happened, and that is it. Thank you so very much for always coming around, for viewing my channel, for your comments. I really appreciate you all. Please, if you've not subscribed to my channel, please do well to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to like and share my videos. Have a blessed day. Bye.